Konnichiwa, minna! For the last few weeks, we've been working on adding listening into our daily routine, as well as reading small children's books together as a family. Hopefully, you've been following along with these tips. I've got a lot of great responses and messages from you guys telling me how your children are responding positively, how even your other family members are responding positively to you adding these daily tips into your life. And I'm so excited to bring you this week's tips. If you missed last week's videos, check the link below. I've added the links so that you can go and catch up on those great tips on how to introduce the second language into your child. So this week, we're going to talk about how I study my second language and how you can study your second language as an adult, but more importantly, as a parent. So let's jump right in. There are a lot of websites, textbooks, and different methods to learning a second language. I do not want to get into that today because everyone has a different learning style, a different learning preference, different time schedules throughout their day. So I won't get into the exact websites, textbooks, and apps you should be using. That's not what this video is about. This video is about study tips that any parent can use for learning any language. If you actually want to know what I use to study Japanese, follow me on my Instagram page or my Facebook page, Chocolate Sushi Roll. Tip 1. Study with your kids and your daily habits in mind. So what I mean by that is when you sit down and you've got your grammar book and your vocab list of choice, whatever that might be. Also, I want you to go out and buy like a little mini notebook, right? Something that you can have on you throughout the day where you can quickly reference. Like this one has like the string that you can put on the page so that you can easily turn to it to use when the moment arises that you could put that grammar or that new vocab word into use in everyday life with your children. So after you have these things and you're sitting down to study, what I want you to do is think about the grammar and the vocab that you will use in your daily life, in your routine, and what you would use with your children, right? So, for example, last night I was studying the Japanese grammar nasai. You add this to a verb and it makes it into a command that means to do. The examples I wrote down in my notebook were yasai o tabenasai or papa ni watashi nasai. So these are things that I would actually say to my children in real life. So when you're practicing making new sentences or you're reading the example sentences given by the book or the website, jot down the ones that are relevant to your actual things and routines and everything you and your children do in real life. Don't write down the ones that are random, like I climbed a tree today. You're not going to climb a tree, but you will ask your kid 10,000 times to eat his vegetables. You will ask them to wash the dishes. You will tell them to go to the car or sit down in the car or, don't fight with your sister. Write those down. And that way you can reference them when they are fighting with their sister. You can say, don't fight with your sister. And then you can also say it in your second language because you can use your little cheat sheet notebook, right? All right. So what I'm saying is if you study with your kids in mind, it's going to change your motivation for studying. I know. You're like, what? But it's like you're studying with a whole different mindset. Use your children's advancement as your motivation. If you don't study, they can't improve. Tip 2, repetition. Repetition is the only way you're going to get these new phrases, new grammar, and new vocabulary words to really stick. When you go throughout your day, start to pay attention to the little phrases, the little things that you always say routinely. For example, when I get ready to leave, I always say, okay guys, it's time to go. Okay, so I want you to start paying attention to those little things. What we're going to do is we're going to find that exact phrase in our second language and we're going to replace it. Right. Believe it or not, your kids know that every time mom starts heading to that closet to get her shoes on, that she's about to say, okay guys, it's time to go. So why not at that exact moment flip it and say it in your second language? Odekakeru jikan, mina, junbi wa ii? They will get the gist of what you're saying just from it being embedded in them that every time you go to that closet, get your shoes, it's time to go. I always say, let's get in the car, seatbelt, just these little phrases that we want to replace. Right. So where do you get these phrases from? There are free websites like Hi Native, link below, where you can actually ask a native speaker of that language, how do you say something? So you log onto the website, you type, how do you say brush your teeth in Spanish? And an actual native Spanish speaker will reply. Right? For free. It's very user-friendly. It's easy. Let me know if you need any help, and I'll be happy to assist you. There are also many YouTube videos about phrase learning that you can look up and jot down those phrases in your mini notebook, right? Comment below. I really do want to hear from you. What phrases are you going to add this week? What phrases are you looking to add next week? If you need some ideas, some help, I'll be happy to give you a list of popular phrases that I always say to my kids. All right, let's jump right over to tip 3. Tip 3, dedicate at least 30 minutes, 5 times a week to studying. Language learning is about consistency, not cramming. If you keep making steps to advancement, there's nowhere to go but up. What I mean by 30 minutes is an undistracted, I'm sitting at my desk or a table and I'm ready to take in and process new information. Finding little scraps of time throughout the day to review is great, but to actually learn new information or review with focus is what I'm talking about. 30 minutes of focused sit down time. Yes, you can do it. You can find time for this. Remember, your children, they rise to the expectation of their parents. So if they see you, studying in a second language, reviewing words, practicing with natives, they're going to try to do their best as well. Those are my 3 tips for you today. Don't forget to show your support by hitting the subscribe button, and I'll see you next week. Jane.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z, 9, my, no, my, A, B, C.
Now let's sing in Japanese. Ah?
Hero, can you go? Hello,
Yatta! Olivia Nova. A, B, C, D.